Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to you joining from all over the world. Today is our Saturday Q&A with Emmanuel. I can see people tuning in, of course, from all over the world as per usual. It's fantastic to see you all. I see people logged in across all the different platforms, Crowdcast, Facebook, YouTube. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, see if you can log in on Crowdcast at acil.to/live to be able to ask questions. Welcome. So for those of you who are new, my name is Edward. And for those of you who are surprised to see me instead of Crystal, there were some technical challenges with her internet and she is remedying those. So maybe we'll see her later today. I'm with Ascension One Collective, the foundation that supports the work of the channel. And I'm here today to, let's see here. Why did it go away? I'm here today to support you coming in and out of this field. And I'm here to ask all the questions that you have for the guides. So last week we came together, we explored Earth's rising energies in an energetic transmission with the Elohim. This week, we're going to continue to explore this topic with the guide Emmanuel. We're going to have the opportunity to ask questions of this benevolent celestial being. We've created a two-part session, which is obviously first with Elohim and now with Emmanuel, to give you time to receive the energetic transmission as well as the wisdom transmission from the week before, integrate it, mellow on it a little bit, and allow for any questions to come up based on this topic that might emerge. So we look forward to answering as many of these questions for you today as we can get to. If you'd like to ask a question on Crowdcast, feel free to type it into the questions tab at the bottom of the screen on Crowdcast. The production team is then going to choose a few questions to ask the channel from this list. Before you ask the question, try asking yourself, what's the best way to ask this question that would serve the most people or serve this group? Emmanuel typically answers in ways that serve the greatest good. And so sometimes if you want a very specific personal question, should I get the blue car or the red car? The answer you get might not align with your expectation. The energy field has the way of pulling us into an interesting collective state. So you might find if you hold your question in your mind or in your heart, you may actually receive the answer either in someone else's question that they ask, something that the guides say, or even silently inside yourself. For those of you who are new and seeing this for the first time, I'll explain there's a process that a seal actually goes through to open this connection that opens up through this channel to the guides. It's a connection that both energy and wisdom can come through during these sessions. And the process for a seal to actually get into this trance will include some spontaneous movements of his body, his arms and his hands, sometimes some shaking of his body, fast breathing. And as he starts to build the energy, sometimes his eyes will roll upward a little bit. It may look a little strange, but this is actually all normal. His everyday human consciousness is still available for him, and he can stop the embodiment at any time. Once this energy field is established, Emmanuel will come through to deliver wisdom transmission. Following that, we will ask questions that have been queued up in Crowdcast. As the session comes to a close, we'll sit together in silence and allow a seal to come back into his everyday state of awareness. For people who are able to support the work, it not only supports a seal, but it supports the whole production team. Myself, Crystal, Stoph, the whole team. Many of you who supported the last session have already supported this one, and thank you so much for that. It's appreciated and it truly helps. It helps us to keep this work accessible so that we can offer these sessions at no charge. We have links to the options to support in the chats, and please enjoy the session, and we will see you back here upon your return.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. It's good to have you. We are a global community. We are citizens and inhabitants of this earth, and we are of this earth, at least our physical parts. So we are directly connected to this earth in intrinsic ways. Not just our physical parts, but also our energy, our consciousness is seemingly directly tied to this earth. Whatever happens with the earth impacts us. And whatever happens with us seems to impact the earth as well. Our actions certainly impact the earth. And whatever changes the earth is going through also impact us. In very simple terms, if weather patterns change, if the earth is going through a transformation, volcanoes, earthquakes, those kind of things, we feel it. It has a huge impact on society, on our lives. Seemingly, though, the changes that we're witnessing are of cosmological nature and are greater than we, as this current society, as this current civilization in human form, have experienced so far. And the guides have called it the rising energies on this plane of existence. And when energy rises, they said it really has no intention or specific meaning. We just have a tendency to apply meaning to things, as the human mind does. But energy is rising. We need to be able to receive the rising energies. And when the energies rise and start to move through this earthly plane and through our bodies, we will feel the shifts. We will feel where energy does not move. We will feel our emotions more accentuated. We will feel any of our bodily aspects that are not fully flowing, where energy is stagnant, in our mental constructs, and also in the structures that we have created as humanity. And when energy does not flow, there is pain. And then we create all kinds of meaning around the pain. And when there is no pain, there is flow. So ultimately, the guides are supporting us and guiding us to get to a place of flow. This is why we're delivering this month's transmissions, to get to that place. And yes, of course, as we are answering questions today, there is still an energetic part to this work where the energies are still going to be transmitted in every single word that is chosen. So some of you may be more interested in the word by word responses to the questions, and some of you will be listening beyond the words to the energy that's delivered. And energy itself has intelligence and wisdom and knowledge that integrates on more subtle layers of our being. So thank you for being here. It's a blessing to have you. It's a blessing to share this work with as many people as possible. And we are very excited for all the amazing things that are coming up, including our big event tomorrow and the Sacred Earth training next week. And of course, the foundation level training in November. But I'm sure Edward or Crystal will talk about it more later. Greetings. My name is Emmanuel. All of you that have witnessed this human form have witnessed change of life, the waves of transition, the waves of transformation. As you have evolved from a newborn to a child, to a young adult, and to an adult, you have witnessed the energies of this earth fueling your entire being to become who you are today. These energies will continue to fuel you and provide for you unconditionally and continuously until the completion of this lifetime until the completion of this human form on this material plane. Just as you have grown from a newborn to an adult, just as you have learned to receive a greater capacity of energy, greater levels of energy, this earth itself is in an evolutionary process of receiving greater levels of energy. In some ways, it is its own evolutionary and growth process. This material plane in which this earth resides is undergoing a significant change and transformation. The waves that are established, the waves that will move through this earthly plane in increased frequencies, will uplift all that is alive, all that is bound to this material plane in its own material form or in its non-material forms, will be impacted by the uplifting energies that will move through this plane until the ascension process of humanity is complete. These waves of energy, these increased frequencies, will be utilized in order to uplift humanity into its new level of existence, a non-material form of existence. Understanding with greater sensitivity the energies that move through this plane, that move through your physical form, your emotional, mental, and your energetic bodies, will be a significant learning. Navigating these energies to truly fully receive the benefits, to integrate the greater capacities to receive and to share, to transmit, will be an essential skill to uphold and to integrate. Those that will learn first, those that will integrate first, will share by example, will show by their actions and by their interactions how the rising energies can be applied to thrive in human form. Change has always challenged humanity. As many of you have become dependent and reliant on comfort, change was the epitome of challenge. Yet, you have been changing all your life, and you're consistently changing, as is this plane, as are all living beings. Change is truly consistent. Therefore, the comforts and the illusion of a stationary and static experience is merely temporary. Can you start to embrace change itself as part of life, as part of transformation, as part of growth? Can change in itself become an intrinsic aspect of your life? Can you witness change with an open heart and an open mind? Can you allow energies meant to transform this plane and all of humanity as a benevolent force, as fuel to uplift you, to hold you, and to allow you to truly thrive? The unknown has always challenged the mind's singular purpose to understand this reality, to allow you to navigate this reality in a sense of safety, to keep you alive. Yet greater forces are enabled to provide for you to stay alive, to provide for you to experience, to grow, and to thrive. Greater forces are in play to ensure that the unknown that unfolds for you is truly in your interest and in the human consciousness's evolutionary interest. Not all of you have found that level of trust in existence and in life yet. For some of you, it will require for the energies to rise even further, for the constructs that hold on to aspects of control, aspects of comfort, aspects of perceived safety, until the energies increase so much that none of these mental and emotional desires of control can hold. There will be a moment of surrender. There will be a moment of acceptance for each of you at different times. There will be a learning to greater trust in the benevolent nature of life itself, a greater trust in this construct that has provided for you the experience of the human form and the experiences that are to come. Observe and reminisce on experiences of your past. How many times have you stepped into the unknown? How many times have you been provided for? How many times has your life evolved beyond your imagination? Beyond any of the fears that kept you resisting? How many times were you held despite trusting that you will be? These are reflections for you to hold as you go through transformations, as you go through transitions, as you go through changes in life. Understanding that rising energies are part of this construct to provide for you. Understanding that you have sheer limited capacity to receive energy and to allow these energies to move through you. This work that we provide, the adjustments, the wisdom, is to prepare you continuously and constantly to receive the energies with grace, to expand the capacities of your being, your physical, emotional, mental, and energetic spiritual constructs, evolving to receive the full power and strength of this world's gifts to you. Thank you for listening to my words. I will now answer some of your questions.
Emmanuel. Anya asks the question, what do I do when all doors seem closed and not even surrender seems to work? Nothing works.
In this human form, there is never no change occurring. Many layers beyond your perception are still consistently adjusting, transforming, and changing. The recommendation for you is to find deeper stillness in these moments where seemingly no change, no opportunity, and no next step is established. Your perception will widen in these moments of stillness, and you will witness the subtle and the layers in sub and unconscious constructs transforming. Some of you have worked many lifetimes to prepare yourselves for this time in existence. For some of you, you have prepared for the rising energies ahead of most individuals on this plane. These parts of you that know are waiting for the right moments to emerge, to move into actionable next steps. Until then, find greater levels of peace within in the moments of sheer nothingness, in the moments of unclarity. Find peace and alignment. The anxieties of an unknown future, the anxieties of an unclear next step are still aspects of the mind to be transformed? Can you find alignment in the moment to truly witness the power and the gifts that are provided in this very moment? And you will notice that your projections into the future, your expectations and desires of the future, your expectations of a clear next step are the ones narrowing the possibilities of the actual next steps that are to open. Therefore, bringing your entire energy and intention into this very moment will be a key element to open the very doors that you could not have imagined or expected in the first place. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Diana asks, Dear Emmanuel, it was said at the start of this transmission, at the start of this movement of stagnant energies within ourselves would cause mental, emotional, and physical pain. Are there ways we can support and direct the smoother flow of energy to alleviate this pain, both for ourselves and for the benefit of those around us? Thank you.
The clear representations of moving energy are witnessable for you. The air that you breathe, the heat that moves through your body, the blood and the liquids that move through your body. These are the simplest forms of energy moving. Additional, more subtle layers are the energies of this earth and of nature moving through your energy body, as well as the energies of higher planes and celestial energies to move through this energetic construct of yours. Become stronger attuned to what is already occurring since the beginning of time, since the beginning of this human form. The movements of energy will still be the same, yet the energies that move through the same pathways will be increased. Therefore, establish a greater understanding of breath. Establish a greater understanding of this cardiovascular system of yours. Establish a greater understanding of the movement of the energies of this earth through your system. A greater understanding of water and its role, of heat and the sun, as well as its role for you. Movement. Your connection to this earth, as well as your connection to higher planes of existence. Witness, sense the way energy moves through you consistently. And as you become more adept in understanding the way energy flows through this plane, as well as through your physical form, your emotional and mental form, you will become adept to the subtleties. You will become a conscious creator as well as navigator of these energies. You can provide for yourself. You can provide for this body. You can provide for your heart, for your mind, and for your energetic body consistently. Many techniques have been developed by many lineages. Yet ultimately, you will be the one to notice as you practice which of these techniques resonate and truly feel that it provides for a movement of energy. A sense of greater well-being will re-emerge as a result of these applications. Continue to increase these practices and techniques. Continue to increase your awareness of the flow of energies through your entire system. This will prepare and clear any stagnant pathways within all structural forms of your being, your physical, emotional, mental, and energetic spiritual constructs will be fully operating at the greatest capacity of its moment. That will be the opening for new levels of capacity. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Veronica asks, specifically, is there a preferred way of experiencing or working with past lineage or past life blockages that we have to work through? How do we know if that's the type of blockages we're working through?
First, you work with the blockages that are most apparent and clear. As you start to move the energies on the blockages that you can actually perceive in the very moment, you will start to become sensitive and understanding of the subtle layers of blockages. Past lives will become apparent when they are needed to be seen, when they are needed to be understood, when energy and past is meant to be resolved and realized. Therefore, follow the next visible, available, stagnant, and blocked energy first, and allow yourself to be led to the next layers, one step at a time. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Theophilus asks, how will doing this work affect our spouses and family members, some of whom don't seem to show interest in this work? Will they have a change of heart?
As you are, they are also consistently changing and transforming. It is merely your projections and your understanding of their identity that keeps them as a perceived constant being. Their resistances, similarly to yours, will change. Their levels of trust and surrender will change as much as yours have. Therefore, as you walk this path with grace, with openness, your transformation will be the inspiration for them. Your levels of trust, surrender, opening and integration. Your levels of realization will be your gift to them. They will witness how you change in your path of evolution. They will trust and find the courage to do it in their own ways and in their own time. Have greater patience, tolerance, and compassion with their ability to surrender, to trust, and to follow the path of transformation, the path of self realization. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Denise asks, Emmanuel, could you please share more about the energy networks connected within the Earth and to higher realms, and how we can learn to benefit humanity by working with these energies?
The energy lines, as well as the nodal points established on this earth, will be the first ones to carry the increased energies on this plane. Therefore, any individual that finds themselves connected and receptive to the energies at these points or at these lines will feel the increase of energies more clearly, more immediately, and before the rest of the regions catch up to the rising energies. Therefore, if you find yourself drawn, parts of you are ready to receive increased energies and to apply, as well as to increase your internal capacity. Imagine a well, a well of energy consistently providing. You will find yourself going to the well, receiving from the well in gratitude and in grace, and returning to bring that which you have received, your greater capacity, your connection to these parts of this earth, into your daily lives, to your daily relationships, and to your daily service. This is how the rising energies, as well as the rising energies at these particular spots and lines, will impact your life directly, as well as the life of those outside of these direct lines and nodal points. Your internal compass is fine-tuning as you continue to go into these places of silence. Your internal compass will guide you and direct you. Your internal compass will allow you to receive, to transmit, and to share that which you have received. This consistent flow will show that you are evolving as a vessel of divine energies, moving through this earthly plane, moving through you to serve all of humanity. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Allegra asks the question, Emmanuel, can you comment on the vision that I see of a group of light workers around the world connecting together to heal the waters of the planet, not only to transmute chemical and radioactive pollution in oceans, rivers, and lakes, but also to even raise the consciousness of the element of water itself.
Water is the direct representation in physical form of the movement of energy across this plane. It provides for life force as well as for consciousness to move across all parts of this earth as well as to all parts of the human form. It intrinsically carries energy, frequency, as well as consciousness. As you have witnessed, many waters carry different frequencies, different energies, and different states of consciousness. Water can truly be impacted by the human form, and water itself impacts the human form as well. Those of you that are operating at a certain frequency and subject a certain amount of water equal to the amount of water within your physical form will be able to transform that body of water to match the frequency that you hold. Therefore, to transform great amounts of water will require great amounts of individuals, a collective field to truly impact the frequency that water holds in this very moment. A greater service will be to connect the places in which water flows to the energetic network of this earth. As these nodal points of this earth are already increasing in frequency, they will fuel the networks of water. Water itself is directly tied to this earth as consciousness as well as in its frequency. Therefore, as the networks and the grid of this earth adjusts and improves in its frequency, the waters of this earth will be impacted immediately. The waters consumed will then impact the humans that receive that water. First and foremost, humanity's direct impact in physical form, toxins, chemicals, the transformation of water, disconnecting from the earth's energy, frequency, as well as consciousness, is a disservice to the water that provides life force in its purest form. Therefore, choose wisely how the waters that you receive are prepared, are delivered, and are kept. This will require a collective transformation of your consciousness into action. Your impact on your leaders, your impact on society around the health and the wealth of water will be required more today than ever in human existence? Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Denise asks the question, how do energies from Earth and other cosmological bodies affect our DNA and our consciousness? And does our consciousness or DNA affect the energy of or consciousness of Gaia itself?
The increasing energies of this plane will impact your physical form, including the DNA that is established, providing the templates of this physical form. Many parts of your DNA will become active again upon the rising energies and frequencies of this earth. This activation within you will impact the way your consciousness operates, the way your consciousness expands, receives, and transmits. A greater understanding of the collective nature of humanity, a greater understanding of the self-realization of humanity, a greater understanding of all of existence will be a natural, expanded state impacted by the expansion and reactivation of parts of your physical form and your DNA. The earth itself is impacted by the rising energies and immediately translates her energy and her consciousness to uphold these rising energies. As you can see, both you and the earth are impacted by the rising energies. And naturally, through the bond that is established between this earth and yourself, you have impact on each other. More so, the earth's impact on you. The consciousness, evolution, and the increased frequencies of this earth will change the way you witness and receive from this earth. The way you find yourself in deep reverence, connection, and gratitude to this earth and its consciousness and what it represents for this human form. You are all in a transformational period. All of humanity, all living beings, all of this earth, all non-material beings on this plane. As you are collectively evolving, you're collectively impacting each other as well. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Peter asks the question, after humanity's ascension process that you've described, what happens to Gaia and all of the ecosystems here? Will there be some period of rest and recovery, or another collective consciousness seated after?
This earth itself will go through a transformational process. Upon the completion of the human form, all living beings, as well as all non-material beings that have served this specific construct, will evolve in their own ways. Their cycle will be complete as well. An entire new construct will be established to provide for life this earth itself will transform and transition to establish new ecosystems, a realignment of its energy, a realignment of its ecosystems according to the new frequencies that it now holds, the new consciousness that it now holds. Therefore, it will become home to a new seed of consciousness and a set of consciousnesses to provide for the evolution of this particular seed. A resting period, as you witness, will be many millions of your perceived years. Thank you for your question.
Martin asked the question, how may we participate and contribute to the emergence of new energetic places on Mother Earth while helping to raise her frequencies?
Your first task will be to find your inner alignment, your ability to increase your own frequency, no matter of the location and the place that you find yourself in. Find yourself in greater states of silence and expanded states beyond space and time. This ability will increase your ability to be a vessel of the divine, truly a pillar of light, a connected force beyond this earthly plane, to this earthly plane. As you embark on the journey to identify, and to witness, and to receive from these nodal points on this earth, you bring forth this connection that you have established within yourself. Celestial energies that move through you, an increased sense of frequency that moves through you to impact that particular node. And you will witness that certain nodes will hold certain frequencies easier than others. You will witness that the quality and the transformational power of certain nodes will be different from others. And you will receive as much as you will provide. Yet first, your understanding and awareness will evolve, expand, and improve. Your receptivity, your sensitivity, and your ability to truly be guided to the places of interest, to the places of transformation, will naturally unfold. Emerging places of energetic significance will become apparent, and you will naturally be guided to those places. You will naturally be guided to perform activities, to receive, as well as connect deeply with these places. Every place will require different interactions, interventions, as well as receiving and transmitting from those places. Allow yourself to be open to the possibilities and the full spectrum that is required at those places. Allow yourself to walk with curiosity and awe. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for answering our questions today.
Thank you for listening to my words and understand that the mind can only comprehend that which it has understood before. That what is to come is beyond comprehension. Therefore, the words that we provide are merely concepts, theories, and hypotheses to the human mind. The reality of the true experience and full understanding will only occur in the moment of manifestation. Allow these concepts to rest loosely in your mind. Any solidifying of imagination and interpretation will limit your perspective going forward. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Wow, clearly there's a lot going on. How do we navigate a world where so much is changing? How do we navigate a human life where everything is transforming? Where the things that we used to be able to rely on may no longer be there to rely on? What do we rely on in the face of the unknown? That is the journey that we're on. To find that true love, to find that true alignment within, to find that divine connection to this earth, to ourselves, and to all of existence. That core, those roots that provide for us no matter what. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Asil. Thank you, Emmanuel. Welcome back, everybody. Feel free to take a moment to take a few breaths. Take your time to come back into your body. Take any extra time you need in a sitting or lying position. Just hang out as long as you need to. And as we are all coming back together here, I just have a few simple closing remarks. Some actually pretty amazing stuff is coming. This is going to be our second cycle of courses, including Sacred Earth, which we've been talking a lot about today. There are a lot of ways to dig into this journey ahead. Starting tomorrow, we have a full day event tomorrow, 10:10, called the Sacred Earth Day-Long Intensive, featuring a live transmission from the guides, a mini documentary premiere. So we've just completed a documentary of the Guatemala trip, and I'll tell you, I've watched it and it's amazing. You should check it out. And we'll also be having a panel with some of the people who participated in the journey through Guatemala. And we'll also be sharing insights from all the trips through Guatemala and Costa Rica and other sacred sites. So join us to learn more about this work and to tap into the mysteries of the Maya and the power of nature in Costa Rica. There's a link to this event in the chat. And right now, if you want to go deeper into what we learned in Guatemala, there is a group or a program in Mighty Networks called Sacred Earth Guatemala Expedition. And it's an online travel expedition log that we shared during the travels this summer with the community there on Mighty Networks. And for those of you who are with us in this program, stay tuned because we're actually still releasing videos and channelings and other items. The team will post invitation in the chat for you. And perhaps most excitingly of all, the very first course, training course in our Sacred Earth training is coming up, and that is October 12th, just 3 days from now, starting very soon. And in this very special first of its kind training, beginning Tuesday, October 12th, you're going to learn to attune to and bring harmony to the energies of the earth, both for your own benefit and the benefit of all who call Earth home. This is a really unique opportunity to train yourself to support the evolution and awakening of all beings from wherever you are. This is truly, for us, and I know for many of you, one of the most exciting programs we've ever offered, and we can't wait for you to join us. And the sign-up link for that training is available now in the chats. Additionally, our course called Foundation Level, or the Foundation course, is going to be coming in November. It was what we previously called Base Camp, and it is the gateway to all of our higher level trainings. This training course, now called Foundation Level, is the kind of keystone course for both the Pillars of Light trainings, which used to be called Ascent and Summit, as well as the higher level Sacred Earth trainings, which will be announced later this year. This foundation level will still include an approval from our admissions director, Emmanuel, for those of you who have not yet taken Base Camp. You can pre-enroll for the foundation course now by following the link that's being placed in the chats. For those of you who've already taken Base Camp, you do not have to be reapproved, but be sure to check out the foundation level facts on the landing page, the FAQs, if you're interested in taking this training course. Even if you have taken Base Camp before, to access the higher level Sacred Earth courses in particular, you will have to take the course that is now called Foundation. And we sent everybody who completed Base Camp in the past a special invitation to Foundation Level yesterday. So check your email inboxes for that. Last but certainly not least, we are going to be offering the course called Summit for those who have completed both Base Camp and Ascent sometime in the past. And the Summit pre-enrollment page will be activated in the coming week, so do stay tuned for that. And we have, of course, for those of you who are new, there are lots of ways to stay in touch. We have this online community on Mighty Networks, which you are encouraged to join, and we will place a link for the chat there. There are people there from all over the globe talking and exploring this work, and it's free to join. There you can access all of our upcoming schedules, Saturday live streams, and Monday integration calls, and it's just a great place to connect to this community and learn more about this work and be in community with others. This work is possible only because of your support. And as you can imagine, it takes a village to bring the channel to this space and then bring it to all of you. If you find this of value, do consider supporting us with a donation to keep this work accessible. As you know, we do everything we can to make this as accessible as possible to as many people as possible, including by offering sessions like this with no monetary contribution required. I want to, yeah, there's links in the chat there with options for donation. And I want to really thank you for joining us, and thank you for contributing your presence and your time. There's no way we could be or would be doing this without you, and it's a profound gratitude with which I say thank you for being here. Do take it easy after this session. Give yourself space for whatever process to unfold or energy to continue to work, and see if you can just go deeper into quiet and presence, and bring that presence and peace to whatever next. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you today, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here. Take care, everybody.